Let's talk about God's system for a minute. God has a specific way of doing things. God has a specific way that he has always done things. And many of us find ourselves in church expecting certain things to happen to us and for us in our lives. But we're not activating God's system. And you can look at people who have been in church for 30 plus years, and their life still does not display the results that the Bible say people of God should have. The reason for that is they are not activating God's system. If you need money, there are instructions in our instruction book that we call the Bible that tells us what to do to get money. If you need peace in your mind, there are instructions in the instruction book for God's system that tells you how to receive peace. If you're going through trouble, there are instructions in the instruction book that tell you how to handle the trouble. If you're having problems with enemies, there are instructions in the instruction book that tell you how to handle enemies. Whatever you need in your life, there are instructions in the instruction book on how to get it. Now, the reason I'm back on YouTube today making this video is because somebody just pissed me off. Don't tell me after you have been in church for 20, 30, 40 years that now you believe there is no God. The problem is not with God. The problem is with you. Don't tell me after 20, 30, 40 years of going to church that now you don't believe pastors are telling the truth. The problem is not with pastor. The problem is with you. If you are not activating God's system by following the instructions in the Bible, which is not a book of rules, it's a book of instructions. If you are not following those instructions, you should not be upset because you didn't get biblical results. So after 20, 30 years of being in ignorance, you decide there is no God and you take your stupid self out and live any kind of way. And after me going through 20, 30 years of ignorance, I decide God is real. Something is not right with me. Yes, I'm going to be honest. I found out 5 years ago that I am not saved, or I was not saved. I was not righteous. I found out 5 years ago that I was not a just person because I was not following or activating God's system. I don't care how much you go to church. If you don't activate God's system for receiving money, don't get mad if God doesn't bless you with money. I don't care how much you run around the church praising God. If you don't activate God's system for having peace in your mind, you will not have peace in your mind. If you're having problems on your job, problems with enemies, and you don't activate God's system for dealing with enemies, don't be surprised when your enemies overcome you. If you don't activate God's system, don't be surprised when your life is not heading in the direction that the Bible says it should be. The answer is all in God's system. The answer is all in the instruction book, which is the Bible. Now, you take 20, 30 plus years of living in ignorance, thinking I was righteous. You take the results from those 30 plus years and versus them by the last 5 years that I have been activating God's system, and you see the difference. More results in 5 years than 30 plus years. Because nobody ever explained to me that God has a system for us to live by. You're on your knees praying, but you're not following the instructions to activate God's system. You're wasting your time. You can give God a hand clap of praise until your hands fall off. If you don't activate God's system for specific aspects of your life, you will never get biblical results. But I'm telling you now, when you follow the instructions for activating God's system, it works. I'm not even going to go off into a testimony, but I'm telling you now, it works. Activate God's system.